Chapter 907, The Empty Throne. Looks kinda comfortable. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pod D-Cast. I am the best guy ever, and today I'm joined by Hypocrite.
Aha, it's me, the pirate genie.
Yes. Are you, Daifuku? Do you know him?
Die, fuck you. I'm not Daifuku. I'm Hypocrite.
No. Makes sense to me. All right, well, moving on. Chapter 907 of One Piece. You may have heard of it. The Empty Throne.
Yes, there's a lot of things.
An ominous title.
A lot of things to talk about in this chapter, so we will not
Sure
dilly-dally,
is.
shilly-shally on
Yes.
every single panel. Like
And
we
now
did
for the
last
obligatory half-an-hour discussion of the opening page. Okay, here we go. What is this? This
It's
is volume
Olympus,
37 of this arc. Jesus Christ, wrap it the fuck up, Oda. Fuck.
Yeah, the Olympus.
Wait, you know what? You know how
What?
Sai was in last chapter and is in this chapter? From the he
From
had
Gangnam
his
Style?
own. Well, the Sai from the China Land guy.
Oh, yes.
He had his own cover arc, and now he's just back in the main story, all while this cover arc has been going on. It's a long fucking cover arc, is my point, I guess.
It's 37
Anyway,
weeks. It
I'm
is
happy
quite
with
long.
it. It is quite long, but whatever. Anyway, Orlumbus, the 56th ship fleet thief, a tearful departure. Thank you for everything. Now,
Yeah, so-
I believe we predicted this.
Did we? I forget.
I think I predicted that he was going to steal the fleet or something was going to happen because that's what's happening. We were like, well, he's an admiral, but if he works for a kingdom, they're not his ships. But his solution was like, well, I want to be a good crew boy for Luffy, so I will just steal the ships and become a real pirate boy.
Yeah, he doesn't even particularly seem to think that there's anything wrong happening. It's like, thank you
No,
for giving me
no.
the ships. Like, I didn't give them to you, fucking asshole.
It's funny though. It's just like last chapter we saw him just being fastidious and with cleanliness with him in Columbus. But now he's
being silly. He was already being silly by being so fastidious and yet being a pirate big man.
Yeah. Well, so I guess he wasn't a pirate until just now though, right? Like he just became
was a
one by
privateer.
stealing these. Right, he was okay. So that's very similar. Yeah, okay. But now he's just stolen these ships. He's betrayed his kingdom. That sucks. But
it's cool. I love.
we're not supposed to take it that
so
seriously.
much. He's in these cover arcs. He's become more than just initially it was just oh, this guy's actually kind of fun, and now
Yeah.
I love him. I love him so much. I want to see him. I want him to be in the story.
He kind of, he did a couple things during Dressrosa that were fine, but yeah, now I like him way more because he's gotten a chance to develop as a real character, like him being a clean boy. He's so huge. He's got Columbus. Oh, everything about this is
All
great.
right, I gotta ask this question.
Okay.
Since this as a cover arc is kind of you have to read it because it's important for fleshing out some of these characters.
Well, in terms of character development, yes. You could skip it and just not get to know any of them.
It's not technically part of the thing. But that's the point I'm getting at, is I don't read the SBSs, and I know I probably should. But is that on the same level as stuff like this? Am I missing out on that much? Or is it just cool background fluff?
You don't read I had no idea you didn't read the SBSs. It's like this. The hierarchy is definitely reading One Piece is the most important thing. Then only slightly below that is reading the cover arcs. I would not put it quite on the level as just reading the chapters in terms of knowing what the fuck's up, but it is important. And then I would say one step down is reading maybe a couple steps down. You do not need to read the SBSs, but you would love them because frankly that's where we see the most of Oda's personality. And he just there's a lot of great stuff. All the drawings of various characters as children come from the SBSs, and they are so worth it. I would encourage you and everyone else. The One Piece wiki has every SBS translated. Sometimes it takes a little while for the new one to get translated for a new volume, but the One Piece wiki has them all. Go read the SBSs; they are so worth it. Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Good
okay, so moving on. Let's
get to the fucking chapter. So
let's do it.
We hop in back already to Whole Cake Island.
Yep.
Looking at Big Mom talking to somebody on the little Denden moosh.
Who are you talking to, Big Mom? Who are you talking to? But what she's saying is just like, she's talking to someone saying, look, I am going to kill the Straw Hat Luffy. Bring me the Straw Hat. I will kill him, so don't kill him, or I'll be mad at you, Kaido, because you owe me a debt. So Kaido and Big Mom, they know each other. This is the first time we've seen them interact directly, and he owes a debt to Big Mom from a long time ago, and apparently it's a lifelong debt. Fascinating.
Yeah,
fascinating.
I feel.
I love this.
This might not be the case, but people have been like saying, "Hey, doesn't Oven look a lot like Kaido?"
Oh Christ! Let's go into that. We'll go into that.
Did Big Mom fuck Kaido? Is that what happened here? Did they? And is the huge debt that he didn't pay child support? Is that what it is?
All right. Let me break down this meme for everybody, okay? Because, like, yes, Kaido and Oven, which is, I believe, Big Mom's, I think it's her third son, but let's not forget, the fact of the matter is, Prospero is Big Mom's firstborn son, but Oven, Daifuku, and Katakuri are triplets. They are triplets, so they have the same, I mean, it is, okay, theoretically, it's possible Big Mom fucked 3 different men, like maybe at the same time, maybe shortly after each other.
That's needlessly complex.
They could be, what is the word, fraternal? It's possible they're fraternal, but no, they're triplets. Well, I guess they actually definitely are fraternal because they are not identical, so they have to be fraternal. Okay, if Oven is the son of Kaido, that very likely would mean that Katakuri and also Daifuku also is, because they are triplets. And you know what I'll say? I'll say it's not impossible. It's not impossible. But I strongly doubt it. I strongly doubt it. Like, Katakuri is bestial. He's got, like, the big gulper eel face. He's got very intense eyes. I mean,
all 3 of them boys are quite big, muscular.
And Daifuku is a big boy, though Daifuku looks the least like him because he's just got, like, short hair and a little mustache. And,
anyone can shave their hair.
True, but in shonen logic, hair is, like, the way you know, like, who a character is and their connections. I'll say it's not impossible, but I strongly doubt. You know what? I'll say, honestly? Thinking about it now, it's possible. It's possible. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. That's all I got to say. It would be a lifelong debt, wouldn't it? If you talk about the life of her children.
Yeah, I feel like there's no reason for it to be the case, but there's also no reason for it not to be the case. It doesn't not make sense.
The only evidence, the only evidence is that Oven looks like Kaido, and that is not strong evidence. That is hardly strong evidence. So, again, don't be a joy boy, everybody. Do not be a joy boy. Don't get carried away here and make a fucking analysis video about when really the idea is you know one fact that makes it kind of seem like maybe a possibility. Just don't be that guy. Be skeptical. Skepticism is the foundation of a good life. All right. Moving on. Oh my god, I turned the page and Kaido's face was so spooky. Oh, he looks mad.
He looks, I think, I don't know how many panels of Kaido there have been, but it seems like most of them are just him looking straight on at the camera being really mad about something.
Remember that time, there's a time we cut to him after, it's after Dressrosa, when he was just really sad that, like, the SAD had gotten fucked because like he wanted to make his
had been destroyed.
Oh shit, dude. Like he was upset and he was crying that like he wasn't gonna get his like full beast devil fruit crew that he really wanted or something. So like once in a while we see it like that way, but yeah, like this time it is that old standby frontal facing thing.
Has the parallels with Kaido and Genghis Khan been because he's
got the
supposed
Fu Manchu
to be
mustache.
that sort of character, like a big warrior army of like beastie fucking smelly old, muscular men running around. Probably
that's definitely true.
Instead of horse archers, they are literally horse people archers. And all that sort of stuff.
Mean, you're definitely right that there is some connection to be made there. Although Kaido is more of like a beastie. I mean, Kaido is a Yonko, and he could have gotten there with just sheer strength, but, like, it seems more likely that he probably is a strategery boy on some level, because you gotta be a smart guy if you don't want to get fucking...
Genghis Khan wasn't an idiot, that's why he had such a huge
that's my point.
Empire.
Like, if Kaido was just a bestial monster, then, like, he would be less like Genghis Khan, but I think he's a little smarter than I don't know, like, he hasn't done much yet, but I think he probably is a pretty good organization boy since he's a Yonko.
How like Oda,
the Big Mom is retarded
to certain things. Like like fucking King Hamburger, you know. I feel like if anyone was going to be the Genghis Khan of One Piece, it would be a Yonko or like this.
I mean, yeah, I hear you, and I hope to see more of that as we like get to Wano. I want to see the
Mongol-themed pirate ships and islands.
Yeah, me too. You know what? I bet that's not even unlikely. I will probably see a bunch of that, like how the giants are Vikings and all that shit. Yes, please do that, Oda. I want to see more. But anyway, so Kaido here is just saying, no, Big Mom, listen, I'm the one who has the grudge against him, and of course we know this is because Luffy defeated Doflamingo, destroyed the SAD factory that was making the artificial devil fruits, and interrupted the weaponization of the thickness of those.
There it is.
There it is. There of the Zoan devil fruits that he wanted. So he's like, no, if you come to get Luffy, I'll kill you, Lin Lin. So these two are fighting. There's some fighting boys. And what does he say? He said, this isn't up to debate. I'm giving you fair warning. I'm taking his head. Oh, wait, I think Big Mom is responding. She's just like, let's get along just like in the old days. Yeah. So, yes, these two definitely knew each other.
That's sort of bolstering the reasoning for like, oh, maybe they are like...
Maybe they fucked. Maybe they fucked.
Did the deed.
Ooh, they got along while they fucked. And Big Mom was pretty hot when she was young, you know? Is this true? That's true. We saw it. We saw what she looked like. Not bad. Not bad.
Wasn't she just a little baby then, Nate? What are you talking about?
What? Well, I mean, she's. I think we know the exact numbers. She's something like 65 or something, and like we saw how she looked when she was like 25 or something, and we know how old her sons are, so we could like refer. Like, they're like 40 or something, so, she's like 25 or something when she fucked him. If she did, which I doubt.
Yes.
Okay, anyway.
This moving on from that shit. This is interesting seeing that, like, Wano is going to... We already knew Kaido was going to be there, but now Big Mom, obviously...
Yeah.
We didn't know whether she would be at Wano, but it seems very likely now that she's going to be there as well. I
doubted that she would chase, but this makes it all the more likely that she's going to get in there in some way. And maybe she'll be part of the plan to take him down.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I definitely think Big Mom being angry and like them two fighting over who gets to kill Luffy is like a classic like cartoon, sort of like like Looney Tunes, like they're fighting over trying to kill, or Tom and Jerry cartoon, where Jerry is Luffy, and there's two cats trying to kill him. They kill each other instead.
Oh, it's like the cat and the dog or whatever, or something like that. Yeah, well, that sounds good. I don't know, man, but like Yonko are seriously fucking powerful. Having like two of them around for an arc, like Jesus Christ, that's going to be interesting.
It's just the levels of cool shit that we're about to see in Wano. It's just unbelievable. Like we've already got Katakuri on Big Mom. That's going to be like an interesting play. If Big Mom's coming with all her crew,
Pudding
is going to be there. Katakuri is going to be there. There may be other people. Fucking Pound D. He might be there.
Pound D Pussy is going to make an appearance. Hopefully.
And like fucking.
He might be dead though.
There's like X Drake is in the Kaido's army. And it's
who's going to show up? You know who's going to show up? Who we haven't talked about in a while?
What?
My friend Pedro. It's time.
Pedro is gonna be the beastiest of them all. He's gonna blow them all up again.
Oh, I forgot about our friend Pedro.
The one weakness of beasts is nitroglycerin. Boom.
God, I hope so. Okay, here we go. Marine headquarters. Big Mom is making a move. She's contacted Kaido. He yelled autistically. Everyone's just all these guys who we've seen before. All these faces are known to me. I forget their names exactly, but the Vice Admiral guys or whatever. We've wiretapped them. They don't even care. They know that we're like tracking them right now. So obviously they want us to know what the hell they're saying. Oh, we can actually see
really
Momonga listening with his interceptor snail right there. It's saying Big Mom's words to him right now. That's pretty cool.
I'm really wondering why Big Mom and Kaido are okay with this. Like, do they have a reason for that, or are they just like, I don't fucking give a shit?
It could be part of some plan. It is possible. Who knows, dude? Who knows? But they say the only ones with the power to stop them are the admirals or the warlords. Do the warlords even have power to stop Big Mom? I mean, I don't know, maybe. Like what's Boa Hancock gonna do against Big Mom?
Yeah,
nothing.
I mean, what are the warlords at the moment? Buggy is one of them.
He can't do shit. I mean, he's got a powerful crew, I guess.
Well, he doesn't have the giants anymore. They left. They were the big.
And those were like his best ones. Yeah. Well, that sucks. And they like that. Let's not forget that Luffy like easily destroyed like one of those giants like in the Colosseum with one fucking punch. It wasn't even hard. So, like, how strong could those guys possibly have been if they're, like, S-level hunters or whatever? Not even good. Like, Luffy is just... Well, maybe Luffy is a bad example because Luffy is, like, one of the strongest people in the series now.
I think the thing with, like, giants is... Even a giant who doesn't work out could beat most humans. But
That's
like
true.
if you're like a strong boy who knows how to do flash step or whatever, then you could
like
beat
imagine a giant. We've never seen a giant do like anything cool, but like imagine a giant who like has hockey, maybe has eaten a fucking devil fruit.
Fuck.
Yeah, big. We're talking big boy.
I mean, maybe they need to have a really big devil fruit in order to make it actually happen. Maybe only
doubtful.
the little finger gets the power.
You know, speaking of, there is a filler arc where there is a giant. But the thing is, she ate a devil fruit that allows her to shrink. And get this shit. So she was a giant. She ate a fruit that let her shrink. So she would travel the seas in a bottle. It would just like float around, and she'd be in the bottle as it like bobbed in the waves and stuff. And then she would just like occasionally get giant, like which she normally is without a devil fruit, just to like do stuff. But here's the thing. In this. I said cover arc. I meant filler arc.
I think you did say filler arc.
Oh, okay, hopefully I did. But in this filler arc, so during like the final battle of the thing where like Luffy obviously needs to fight the big bad guy of that thing, she climbs inside Luffy's body and turns giant to make Luffy giant from the inside. That happens in One Piece. Like, think of the ramifications of that.
Like, she's in his stomach. She stretches this lining of his stomach all the way out.
That's fucked up.
Into his arms and legs. Ooh, no.
Yep, it's gross.
Don't think about it, kids. Just don't think about it.
All right, anyway. So, hey, we haven't seen this boy in a while. Kizaru. There he is, looking good.
Borsalino, I love that
Shall I
name.
go, Sakazuki? Wait, Borsalino. I have no idea how strong Wano country's forces are. He's Romanian now.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he's Russian, whatever. Okay, they're talking about the samurai because they're really strong and they're in Wano and something.
Yeah, this is interesting. Like the Wano being like a country that is outside of the world government, and the Marines have no idea how strong they are. Like, how can that possibly be the case?
Well, it's been said that, it's been discussed before that the Wano country is so powerful that the samurai warriors that inhabit it are, like, so strong that, like, they've just rebuffed all efforts of the world government to, like, enter their, like, kind of just like Japan has an isolationist
I was gonna say that they had
in its history.
Like, from the famous video, Bill Wirtz, the entire history of Japan. I learned that the country was closed at some point.
You know,
nobody could go in or out, and I'm like, that's Wano right now. That's the time period.
Have you seen Samurai Champloo?
I have not.
It's just that theme is quite important to that story, and everybody loves it. You should watch it sometime.
Because they have hip-hop, because it's Western.
Well, actually, that part isn't it. It's just that, well, okay, I won't go into it, but, like, it's relevant, and it's cool. But anyway, so here we go. We're cutting away to the Red Port, where Garp is hanging out. This is where the rest of the Royal Boys just went up from here to Marais Joie. And, oh, by the way, I wanted to point this out. Somebody corrected me, and I've been seeing this around, that it appears that Marais Joie is a play on bourgeois, as in aristocratic, high class, things of that nature, which I don't know, like, exactly what the Marais Joie, like, I don't know what that part means, but that seems good to me, and people seem on board with that, so I'm going with it. Marais Joie. Anyway, so we got some person yelling at Garp, "Why don't you care, Garp-chan? Those two are going after your grandson." So Kaido and Big Mom, they're talking about that.
They've just heard also that the two Yonko are potentially teaming up to kill Straw Hat Luffy, and Garp is like,
and Garp finds this hilarious,
funny jokes,
so fucking funny. Garp is like we'll see more as we go, but like Garp is like fucking intimidating. Like, everyone thinks that Garp is like the best guy who ever lived, and I agree. He just seems so fucking strong, and like nothing phases him.
He's the coolest.
Ever. He's pretty great.
In terms of like anime grandpas, like I think he's my favorite.
I want him and Brooke to hang out and just be old guys together. That'd be sick.
They'd go, "Dude, remember vinyl? Dude, I do."
Oh yes.
And remember... they dab.
As the old folks do. So I noticed. So there's like a female Marine who I've never seen before. over on the side. She looks kind of samurai-esque. I mean, I don't know. She's got, like, geisha sort of hairstyle. And she's just like, Garp, what are you doing? So I don't know who this person is. They never say her name in this chapter, but I like her.
I think she may have been introduced already, but I don't recognize her.
I see she has a spider on her leg in that panel above. Okay, maybe I missed something, but I don't know. Whatever. We'll see. So anyway, Garp's sitting down, and he's just like, well, I mean, what's the point in worrying about it? Like, we can't do anything to stop him. Reverie's going on. We can't go to Wano. We ain't got the forces. And then, like, okay, who is this guy? Like, look at this guy here. He looks like important.
He's look at his probably
face.
Some sort of Japanese man.
He looks like a reference to a real Japanese person that Oda is making.
You know, it could be.
You know? That's my guess.
I'm thinking he might be a Wano person who became a Marine.
That's possible.
Potentially.
That's possible.
I mean, you know, Wano's going to be... although it could be a reference to a real person, because he looks kind of real, but I don't know.
You know, what if we hadn't already seen the Green Bull, the other admiral elsewhere, I would have guessed that this guy was the Green Bull admiral, because Oda he's got a 1 out of or a 4 for 4 tradition, or is it 5 for 5 now? I forget, of making admirals based after like real looking Japanese actor boys, and I would have guessed that with this guy, but we know that it's not because we saw that guy elsewhere. Okay, but anyway.
Yeah, what Garp is saying is like, well, what are you going to do about it? All the people who could go and intercept the 2 Yonko are here at the Reverie, so they can't do anything.
Garp's just saying we can't do anything about it, so why worry? It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. This is cool. If they die, well, you know, that's life. His exact words were, Wano is not affiliated with the world government, so it's outside our jurisdiction. Bwahaha, I knew he'd say that. Well, there you go. But then, okay, and here's where things get interesting. So Hina is here, and she's pretty sexual, so that's cool. But anyway, she's like, hey, Garp.
Hina's the prison fruit girl.
That's right, with her very weird, like, cage devil fruit that is very interesting. So she says, speaking of Big Mom and Kaido, Garp, you are hailed as the hero of the Marines because... And then Garp replies, and everyone's talking about this, you're talking about the... rocks. I'm surprised you've heard of them, Hina, especially since you're so young. There's no doubt that before Roger came along, it was their era. But it was more than 40 years ago, and nevertheless, the past is the past. And by the way, we've got Helmeppo and Full Body on the bottom right here. Just doing stuff. Oh, wait, not Helmeppo. I meant to say Django. Who's a Marine.
Fucking Django.
Unchained. There he is.
He's just like in the fucking new world with Garp.
I know, like he deserves to sit at like an equal table. Well, he is in Hina's crew. He is canonically in Hina's crew, and Hina is here.
Yeah,
so.
it's true, but it's like it's so weird to think like so long ago.
How far he's come, right?
Like fucking Kuro.
Yeah, remember Kuro? Literally remember Kuro, guys?
Remember Kuro and the crazy cat guys that he had.
Yeah, those guys, those brothers or whatever.
Incredible.
Hilarious. Like, it's kind of fun, and like I just like seeing him. It's cool just that Oda just has these characters from so long ago just still popping up. God, I'd love One Piece.
Oh, and you know what? You know why it's so good?
Why?
Other shonen have done this. Like Fairy Tail, I think, did this a lot, where they would have characters who would just come back a lot and be in things, but they would be like at the forefront along with everyone else, and to the point where everything felt bloated. Oda does this thing where he lets characters take a back seat for years at a time, or maybe forever. But it's just nice to see them.
Like, Django will never be relevant again, but I love seeing him here. It just makes me feel like Oda cares about One Piece, and I'm, like, on board with a story that people, that, like, has a world. There's a real world operating here behind the scenes, and I just get to glimpse, like, the most entertaining bits of it that Oda shows me. God, it's just great. It's just great.
Yeah, so the rocks thing.
The rocks. Yeah, we gotta talk about that.
The opening theme tune to the first opening of Naruto at the anime.
Is that
I
called
wanna rocks? Woo, woo. Remember that shit?
Right.
That's what it's referencing. By the way, it's so the case.
It may turn out that this is locks. Obviously, they use like katakana here, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So, okay. So what's going on here? Let me just read the end of this page, because this is relevant. So Hina says, even though they lost their captain, their power is still growing. Hina is worried. And Garp says, there's no use worrying about it. Although it would be a real threat if they were to make a comeback, it'd be an incident too far beyond our imaginations for us to do anything. And he's just smirking about this. Okay, so what we've learned here is that the reason that Garp is called the hero of the Marines, which is like a title he gets called, like Garp the Hero or whatever, has something to do with the rocks. So we could presume that, like, he fought them, he, like, beat them, like, something along those lines happened that Garp did on behalf of the Marines. So, okay, cool. And we can infer from what we're seeing this chapter that Big Mom and Kaido seem to have some relationship to these rocks. And like what a lot of people think, and I think is likely, is that they were in some sort of crew together, some sort of all-star crew, because like there's talk of like a captain who's currently gone. So like who knows who the captain was?
And
you know
the fucking they say about like before Roger came along. So like this is pre-Roger. So Roger may not have been on that crew at all.
I mean, maybe he was, maybe he wasn't.
Maybe Roger was a young upstart at the time.
Oh, you know, and it's entirely possible that Roger just had nothing to do with him, other than, you know, like being a pirate that, like...
Oh, yeah, true, but, like...
rose to power afterward.
I think if there's any, like, parallel to be drawn here, it's that there's an established people, the Rocks,
Yep.
And then this young guy with a straw hat comes along, called Roger, and he becomes the Pirate King.
Yep.
And I think, ooh, what's going on? We got, like, people who are related to Rocks, potentially, I think. Kaido and Big Mom, trying to kill him.
Like, just the concept of Kaido and Big Mom being on the same crew, in some capacity, is, like, fucking sick. That's really all I have to say.
What if Whitebeard was as well?
I mean, maybe he fucking was. Like, this... I mean, I know I'm speculating right now, but my guess, right, and this is a complete speculation, is that the Rocks was some sort of super group pirate crew, and lots of, like, the current pirates that we know now maybe got their start there or were part of it. And by the way, I'd like to point out, a bunch of people were messaging me about this. It was also said, you know, Silver's Rayleigh, his fuck buddy waifu, Shaki, it was discussed during Charbonnier. Yeah, you probably saw it too. It was mentioned that 40 years ago, she quit being a pirate. And then, of course, in this... and, of course, there was a 2-year time skip. But we can fudge the numbers a little bit. 40 years ago, this crew, like... stop being a thing, it seems. So was Shaki a member of the Rocks? Sure looks like there's some reason to believe so.
Maybe Shaki was the fucking captain.
Maybe Shaki was the captain, yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's just some sort of super
very
group.
Fucking young for, 40 years ago I was doing stuff.
What if she is like Dr. Kureha's like sister or something? Like, oh my god, wouldn't that be like so cool?
Dr. Kureha's great-grandmother.
I mean, we don't know anything about Shaki, really, other than she was a pirate and she likes Luffy and the gang. So, I mean, this is all we know so far. There was a group. It seems that Big Mom and Kaido were part of it. And, they have a captain that was lost, but maybe will come back. And maybe this will be a big, like, we're talking about a super group that was like the super group before Gold Roger. This is like a big deal.
Yeah, we've never heard of anything before Gold Roger, really.
Well, I mean, Whitebeard we know was a pirate, like, and was older than Gold Roger, but the era of Roger is basically as far back as we go.
I mean, the people say, like, at the beginning of the anime theme song, is like, Roger's death incited the golden age of pirates. So presumably before that, there weren't even that many pirates around.
One Piece is the story of the golden age of piracy. So it could have been like
Rocks was like the birth of piracy. Like Rocks was where every pirate began.
That's possible.
And they inspired Roger or something.
Yeah, man. I mean, God, I just can't wait to find out more. This is fucking huge.
Yeah, and it's definitely going to happen. Like, these guys are going to make a comeback because of this big mention here.
We're going to get maybe like a flashback or something's big's going to happen with this. This is like the development in the pirate world right now. This is... Though, I mean, again, I should point, like, the characters are saying, like, oh, no, they definitely won't come back. Don't worry about it. But we know, as readers, like, if they're talking about this, Chekhov's fucking gun, motherfucker. Pull that trigger.
Alright,
so that's it. Let's move along.
Marie-Joie. In the big old room full of stuff, there's a big old empty throne.
Indeed. And all the kings are asked to make their pledge before it. And this is so fucking sick. Like, this is, like, oh my god, this is the heart of the world of One Piece we're witnessing right now. So you've got King Sterry placed before this empty throne in this huge room full of weapons. And the first thing he asks is, can I sit on it? Like, complete asshole. And
I don't know. I kind of like that. I mean,
it's
character.
funny. It's naive, you know. It's kind of endearing. I like Sterry more than I thought I would, honestly. He's funny. He is funny. I totally give him that. So, you know, no one's allowed to sit on the throne. I think it's Sterry. Is it Stelly? God, let me fucking check. Wait, isn't it on? No, it is King Sterry. It is Sterry. Yeah, it says on the top of the page here. So this is the empty throne. All the kings from around the world are equal in status before this throne. Now, the Tenryubito are gods, but the kings are equals. And the pledge here symbolizes that you will not try to take the throne for yourself in greed. So all these swords are the kings pledging their basically subservience before the throne. And the 20 weapons at the base of that throne are by the people who founded the Tenryubito, founded the world government, the Tenryubito are descendants of, and there it is. Like, no one, the point of this throne is to be vacant as symbolism that there is no king of this world, that the people, like, no one person deserves to be the highest authority and rule over everyone, that this world has to be made up of diplomacy and discussion and you know, the democratic process, relatively speaking, when it comes to the world government.
It's not democracy so much as like a council.
Well, yeah,
like,
I meant more of a republic, I guess.
Power, but like that, there's not one guy.
I mean, I just mean that, like, on the world government stage, like, the kings are equal. Like, it's equal at this stage, is what I mean. Obviously, like, a kingdom, the king is, you know, not democratic. But, like, okay, so let's just talk about this for a second. And even the 5 elders, you know, even those aren't the kings of this. So, like, by the way, it says those the helm of the celestial dragons, the 5 elders, which I'm taking to mean that the celestial dragons are, in fact, or that the Gorosei are, in fact, the celestial dragons. Perhaps that's a reach, but that's what I'm saying anyway. So,
by the way, I just want to say quickly, the throne design is fucking incredible.
I love it so much.
It's so unique and so One Piece, but so, like, actually, I want a real version of that throne. I want to sit on it. I want to own it. I want to build it.
Oh, man. Imagine the two of us sitting on that throne.
And then I fighting over that throne.
And then I accidentally kick you off. Oops, silly me. I have to sit on the throne by myself. As you get fucking impaled on a sword. Yes. I will seize the throne.
That is like a spiky throne. You could impale someone on the top of that throne.
How influenced by Game of Thrones is this throne, do you think?
The swords definitely are a big thing.
Just oh my god, the aesthetic of this room with all these swords at the base looks so sick.
It's very Game of Thrones, it's very Dark Souls as well.
That's true. Oh, imagine fighting a boss fight here. Oh, good. Please.
Oh, it's so good.
But okay, so now I would be, of course, other people have... Okay, there's imagery here that should be discussed. So if you look at the throne, there appear to be a lot of dots on the throne. And there's a lot at the bottom, and they kind of taper off as they go to the top. Now, a bunch of people have put together images and sent them to me and other people. That there is a striking similarity between the way those dots look going up on that and the way that the actual Grand Line, specifically the New World, has been like set up. As everyone knows, hopefully you know that your One Piece lore well enough to know that the way that you start in the New World, as this was true on the in Paradise as well on the Grand Line, is you choose an island to start with basically, and whichever island you've started with, the log pose like points to the next. It magnetizes to the island you're on, and it then points to the next island because normal compasses just don't work in the Grand Line properly. A lot of people forget that, but that's like really important to the way One Piece works, just like as they go from island to island, which is understandable because a lot happens between that. But looking at this, and if you there's an image that's been passed around that I think I retweeted or something.
Yeah, I think I've seen it as well.
It is very similar the way these dots are laid out, and like if you make lines connect to them, it looks just like the connecting lines from island to island that leads from the New World towards Raftel and towards the end of the Grand Line. So it sure looks like there's a connection here between the symbols on this throne and the Grand Line itself, and like Raftel and the prophecy of 800 years, the world government, all this stuff.
sometimes I forget, even though it's the name of the manga, but like there is a treasure called One Piece.
That's right.
And like, if there was ever an X marks the spot, it would be that X right there of the world government.
An X marks the spot. That's true. Damn, that's true. By the way, Raftel, did I ever mention, by the way, I know I tweeted this or said in the thing, Raftel is an anagram of the word laughter. The real treasure was the laughs you had along the way. Anyone? One Piece's laughter? Okay, anyway. Good. Watch as that fucking happens. That could actually happen, possibly, maybe. Okay, there's one other thing.
Ghosties.
Indeed. There was one other thing that's relevant to the design. So people have pointed out, I think this is the first time anyone's really noticed this, but the X sort of logo of the world government, of Cypherpole, whatever, of the world government, the 5 dots connected by lines, actually, that also bears a striking resemblance to the image that was shown during Zou when it was talked about how the road poneglyphs function, and the way that the 4 of them, how the 4 of them give information that point to like some central location. So like it's possible that this like the island dots on the top of the throne look like the new world progressing, and like the way you get to Raftel, and the bottom part could be a reference to the road poneglyphs and like how they help you find the path to Raftel at the end. So a lot of fucking symbolism for God. Just the design is so sick, the way it captures all this, and the symbolism here seems pregnant with symbolism. That's what I'm saying.
And I just really appreciate how it's not over designed. It is just that a spike.
Yeah. It's relatively simple.
And like a few little flourishes, but it's not like an over-designed anime throne.
Yeah. I mean, I never would have figured out that the dots correspond to the islands myself, just looking at it, but it's great that people like are having these theories about what this could mean and figuring out all this shit. And then, of course, after this, now please make your pledge, King Starry. And he's like, if I sit on that, I'll be king. I want to sit on it. But no. But you mustn't, sir.
He's going to fucking sit on it, and he's going to upset the world balance. He's gonna be like, how dare you do that? You're going to die.
He's gonna sit on that, and it's gonna like a big like boulder is gonna come out because there was a trap activated when he hit that. It's gonna be like,
you know what?
No.
You know what it's gonna be? Oh, you know what it could be?
What's that?
It could be like a very funny fucking thing.
Yeah.
Where he does the thing that nobody should do. He goes and sits on the seat, and it presses a button that nobody has found in millions of years because nobody dares sit on the seat. He presses a button, and then it unlocks a thing, and the thing is like, whoa.
Would that thing be like plot relevant?
Yes, it'll be. The hat would open up, and then.
Oh Christ!
And then Luffy would be there. Yeah, we should talk about that. Just briefly, because people really fucked around.
Let's discuss the hat. Yeah, let's talk about the hat.
The thing I like about this chapter is that it does what the ending of the last chapter tries to do, but like in a much better way, like setting up mysterious new things that we don't know much about, but it's actually done well. The reason we said it was like bad writing, or like you said it was, I forget who said it was, bad writing in the ending of the last thing, is because it was like. Nothing,
we said that it could possibly be bad writing. Because, again, we talked about ways it could be good. But, I'm sorry, go on.
We weren't, like, making a judgment call on what the future will hold, because nobody does that. And we were just, like, concerned that this was so strange, and there was no indication that it was not, that anything could be good about it, aside from headcanons.
I mean, that's true.
We had to headcanon an okayness factor to it.
Like, it's true. We spent a lot of time going over how this could be problematic for, like, what we like about One Piece. Like, we absolutely did. But, like, that is us saying, okay, like, if it goes this direction, it could be bad. But we were not trying to say that, like, and I understand people being frustrated, as if we were, like, talking about it for so long, to be annoyed that, like, well, okay, but you don't know that's happening, so, chill out, guys. Like, I get that. I understand that.
I know, but, like,
I stand by all my criticisms, like, if they do come true, though,
If they do. I mean, the thing that annoyed me was, like, if something happens and we have, like, theories about it because we don't have enough information, and then people get mad at us for having theories when we should wait and see, then why talk about fucking One Piece until it's over?
I mean,
the logical
that's
extreme
true.
is to never talk about One Piece ever until the whole thing is over. Then you can judge it.
I guess there's a line to walk. Like, you don't want to over-speculate. We're not joy boys over here. We are not joy boys. You know, that's the worst.
I just don't think we went over a line. We were just discussing something.
I understand why people got frustrated. Like, I get it. Like, people come here and they want to hear positive things. Like, again, I would ask people to please keep in mind that, like, we love One Piece, and to not, don't let our speculation of possible bad things get you. But again, I honestly do understand why people didn't want to hear it, because it's not confirmed, So I'm not really that mad or anything.
I get it. I know. It's just,
though, you know what?
It just annoyed me that they made so many people made that assumption about what we were saying, and when they just. It feels like
we did specifically say many times that we don't know, that this is confirmed or anything, and we went out of our way to try to defend it as we could. But anyway, I had thought about that some more, and I did want to kind of revisit the thing. I think what I said was. And again, like, this is why I get why people criticize it, because I think I said, like, if it does this, then it'll be bad. And I also said, like, I also think it's most likely going this way, because, like, I still stand by it. I think what's most likely is this hat has been in cold storage, and that it is kind of what I would say, like, the bad writing thing of, like, making the hat important. I think that is the most likely thing that we'll see, but what I want to say is I actually did some serious thinking for people who are mad at me for thinking that, and this is what I want to say to them. Even if the worst case scenario happens, I mean, for me, and, like, it was a hat, and it, like, affects, well, it just, like, there was a hat that, like, weirdly parallels Luffy's hat, when really there may or may not be a connection there. Like, it's definitely possible that, like, Roger got that hat from some, like, special thing. Like, Roger may have gotten this hat in some important way, passed it along to Shanks in some important way, and, like, he knew all along it was, like, a destiny key thing, because it's not like Shanks, for example, gave Luffy his hat just, like, on a whim. It was because he recognized greatness in Luffy. So, like, it's possible that, like, that hat there and Luffy's hat could actually stem from some, like, real, tangible, historical thing that does make sense. And like, I wouldn't want to be saying that, like, oh, well, if there's any connection to history, that's bullshit. Because, like, the hat is actually rather mysterious. And again, like, I don't love that the thing would go that way, but, like, it'd be dishonest to say that, like, there isn't a possibility that is what Oda wanted to do all along.
Well, I have a thing about the hat that I want to say.
Sure.
Based on this chapter, which has made the previous chapter, the ending of the previous chapter, okay.
Uh-huh.
But I still think that the way it was handled as, like, a final panel or final few panels of a chapter is like, you're just fucking, that's clickbait in manga form.
It was clickbait for sure. That's for sure.
But, like, the thing I think that this is setting up is that pirate hat, that straw hat, is the hat of the pirate captain of the Rocks Pirates.
Okay. Sure.
And I think that because they're talking about these Rocks Pirates, they're talking about the fact that the captain is lost and they may come back.
Yeah. Okay.
The fact that Roger Roger came right after them, something to do with Garp.
Yep.
And
he seized the arrow from them, so maybe he defeated them or something. Who knows?
Yeah. So Roger maybe was inspired by the Rocks Pirates. Maybe they invented piracy, and Roger was like, "Dude, that's fucking sick. I want to do that too. That's a good idea."
They invented the idea of getting in a fucking boat and stealing shit.
Yeah. I mean, literally, there had to be the first. There had to be a guy who did it first.
You're not wrong.
So, like, there was that, and then Roger was inspired, and he thought, "All right, I'm gonna die. I should give this hat to Shanks so that he can continue the legacy, because he's the coolest guy."
According to your theory here, he simply was inspired to, like, just get a straw hat. I think
it was just like a symbolic gesture,
which is possible, which is not the worst writing in the world. It is not.
Yeah.
It is not.
And then to give it to Shanks, who then gave it to Luffy. Shanks may not know, but I think the fact that at the end of this chapter he says, "I want to talk about a certain pirate," and he seems kind of distressed. And the fact that Garp was talking about if the Rocks Pirates came back, it could be the fucking worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
I think Shanks is talking about something to do with the Rocks Pirates making a comeback.
It certainly would be appropriate. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's being like kind of like, oh, this is kind of bad. The hat is like the hat of a giant, and the giants are like from Elbaf, and Elbaf is related to Big Mom and Kaido.
I wonder.
And all of this is like, it's all gonna be a big fucking cool thing. I'm sure it will be cool. I just still think the ending of that last chapter was a bit badly put together.
You know, dude, I wonder if Blackbeard has any connection to these Rocks pirates.
I'm sure
he's fairly old himself.
He's
not that old, but he could have been a young boy, like maybe like a cabin boy.
I don't think he's old enough, but I think he may know about it. He may.
Well, let's not forget, like the era changed with Roger's death 20 years ago, or like now it's like 22 or something. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those numbers are correct. So if you were like if Blackbeard is like 45, let's say, which he definitely could be. But let's just say he's 40. Then, like, let's round to 20 years ago when Roger died. Okay, so Roger's era would have probably been going on for maybe a couple years, let's say. So that would put, like, Blackbeard at maybe, like, 15 to 20. Maybe a little older than that, too. So, like, that's totally possible. He could have been, like, a real crewman of these guys, possibly. Just saying. I'm just saying it's possible, because Blackbeard is very mysterious, and I want to know his deal. He knows a lot of stuff he shouldn't know.
Yeah, so, like, the whole, like, thing I just said, completely, like, not based on fact, it's just a cool idea that if it's a giant and he's the leader of the Rocks Pirates, then a lot of this would be, like, tying into a cool thing that has just it's kind of just been introduced and it's already, like, really cool.
That's true. And you know what? Like, what I like about that is if like, let's say Roger was just inspired to get a straw hat because, like, the leader of the fucking Rocks wore one or whatever, like, that continues the theme of inherited will and like personal treasure that I care about, that I like a lot.
I definitely think the hat should and probably is not a literal key of some kind. I think it is just, this is like continuing the legacy that the Rocks Pirates started. Of trying to dismantle the world government and read the poneglyphs and get the One Piece and do all that stuff.
Oh, man.
Like, Roger wanted to do that.
Dude.
Shanks is trying to do that, and Luffy is, like, eventually going to do that by becoming the Pirate King, and all this fucking shit is going to be so cool. I love One Piece. It's the coolest thing in the world.
You're so right. You're so right. Just like how Metal Gear Solid 3 is, like, a lot of people consider it the best one because, like, that shows, like, Big Boss and, like, how he developed, and, like, it made us really give a shit about Big Boss in that game. Like, imagine getting a flashback to, like, when Roger was a kid, like, sparring with the fucking Rocks Pirates and, like, learning about him and seeing his struggle. Oh my god, I want it so fucking bad. Just, Oda, please hurry, write more One Piece now.
Write One Piece at the same rate.
Yeah, well, don't stop taking breaks, you bitch. But you know what? There is one last thing I want to say on the subject of the hat, and it is just that. So I was thinking about this really hard, and I was trying to think of a way that, like, what if Luffy's hat is a super special magic key or something? And you know what? I found a way that I don't even hate it. And here's what it is. Because as of what I said before about how, like, it's definitely possible that Roger gave Shanks the hat and Shanks gave Luffy the hat. Like, we know that the hat is at least important to them personally and could theoretically be some magic MacGuffin. Like, it's possible. It's possible. I wouldn't like it that much, but, like, it's possible. But if that happens, just imagine a situation where, like, Luffy hears that, like, oh my god, Luffy, your straw hat is, like, the hat that opens the key to the final Raft Tail or whatever. Imagine Luffy, okay, well, actually, let's put that aside. Let's say it, like, unlocks, like, the secret super weapon where you could, like, take over the world. And imagine Luffy hearing that and saying to them, I don't care, I just like it as a hat, and just, like, doesn't do anything with it. In that, or even if he uses it but personally doesn't care that it's special, he just likes it as a hat, that too continues the spirit of personal treasure. Like, if he likes it because he cares about it.
That whole, like, chosen one bullshit.
And it doesn't even need to be, like, even in that situation, we don't even need to, like, undercut, like, he doesn't even use it as the thing. It's just that Luffy cares about it just because it's his hat. Like, that's the most important thing to me. That stays true and good. So I don't know, just thought I'd say that because I don't know, I had thought about that a lot, and I really wanted to think about, like, I thought I was a little off base, honestly, when I thought back about, like, what I've been saying about, like, how there's no way that the hat was ever intended to be important, because, like, you know, once we found out that, like, Gold Roger gave it to Shanks, it was like, okay, something's going on here. And I mean, you can argue that was a relatively recent development and like it wasn't intended, but the hat has always been mysterious, and Oda does this kind of stuff. And it might be a little frustrating, but it is what it is. Well,
I think the thing is, like you're saying, it would be out of character for Luffy to be okay with the hat being a key. It would be out of character. It would be out of character for Luffy to be like interested at all in any of the lore at all.
Yeah,
at any
that's
point.
right.
He would just be like, well, I don't give a shit. I'll just beat someone up. Who do I beat up?
Exactly.
He's a fucking thug.
And of course, and I care about the main, like the themes of One Piece with like personal treasure, and like inherited will. Like that's what matters, not the big treasure. And like that's what like guys like Buggy care about. And that's why Buggy's like a fuck up. And he's just like, oh, gotta go get my new gold treasure. Oh, I'm gonna be rich. Like that shit doesn't fucking matter. What matters is stuff that we personally care about. And as long as we don't break that, I'm happy. I'm happy.
You know, I'm really looking forward to when Buggy becomes one of the Yonko.
Dude, I mean, considering... What if Kaido and Big Mom kill each other, and Luffy becomes double Yonko? He takes both their spots. Hell yes.
It'll be like... Buggy chases after the giants who left to join Luffy, and they go to Wano, and all that stuff happens. Big Mom and Kaido, they're dead, and then Buggy is just around, and he's like... it was me. I did it. And he becomes the next Yonko.
It could happen. It's a miracle he became a Shichibukai already, so doors open. All right.
I want it to happen. I want Buggy to be the Pirate King.
You. All right, let's continue the chapter. So here we go. Pangea Castle. We cut to, oh no. Now, we saw him last chapter. St. Charlos has shown up, and he has sicked his slave boy on that big bitch Shirahoshi. Oh my god. Okay, so we've got a big slave chaining him up. By the way, I just want to say how much I like seeing this giant with like that brand of the Tenryubito, the flying dragon's hoof or whatever. And it just reminds me how cool that is, that's a thing that happens, and also how cool the Sun Pirates logo is, that is a like version that like redeems that fucking it's so cool. It's so fucking cool. Also, I do want to point out though that I think there's an error with that, because the hoof actually is supposed to have a point on the bottom. There's the 3 on the top and then 1 on the bottom, but that's missing.
They just changed their logo. They changed their branding, literally.
Oh, you. All right. So this is not good. A Tenryubito is currently attempting to just take Shirahoshi, and, like, no one is literally allowed to stop him. So, like, here's Vivi going nuts, being like, oh my god, Shirahoshi, no! And everyone's screaming, and Rebecca, and, okay, my favorite part is Wapol back there, just trembling in his boots. Like, he is so scared at what is about to possibly happen. Like, Wapol, like the villain of an arc, like this big asshole king guy, is just like, oh, I'm quaking. Oh no, please, what's gonna happen? I'm sure he doesn't really care about like people being slaves or whatever, but he probably does care about like if someone fucks with the Tenryubito, that could cause lots of problems.
Yeah, it's like if too many royals get involved, then maybe kings will be banned and he'll have to leave.
I mean, yeah, that'd fuck up his whole. That's why people who are like involved in government have a large incentive to keep the government like stable and functioning. So So Sai is holding back, a good old Sai. He takes some time away from editing his anime opus to hold back Rebecca. Dressrosa will be no, don't fight him, Rebecca. And then all the fish boys are just like, this is their sister/daughter being fucking just made a slave before their eyes. They can't do anything
than the others, that they can't get involved, but they really want to.
This is fucked up. This is really dark.
The fact that he
there's
can
a thing.
Do this,
like,
and he knows he can.
In fucking, in like Soviet Russia or whatever, like Stalin could like walk into a shop, or I think it was actually, I heard this in Venezuela, like, because Venezuela got really socialist. Like they just like this is anecdotal, but I think it was true. Like Chavez or whatever would walk into a shop, say, "This is a nice shop. This is now the state's shop," and now just like appropriate it, and like the person would be like, "You've got like 24 hours to leave. This is now the state's shop." Terror. Like, removal of personal ownership of things is a terrifying concept. And, like, imagine, because, like, this was another thing. If you had, like, a wife, like, and we literally saw this in Shaboni Archipelago. Like, you're out on a walk with your wife. Like, a noble or, like, a Tenryubito walks up and says, your wife is going to be my slave now. I'm taking her. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
He can kill you and take her and rape her and make her a slave. And, this is so dark. Like, the ramifications of what's happening here are so fucking dark, just like they were in Shabondi. Fuck. This really fucks me up. This really fucks me up.
It's especially fucked.
And Shirahoshi's so nice. She's a good... stop.
I mean,
stop.
Not so much that, but the fact that these are royals attending a reverie at a palace.
She's a princess, too. No one is safe. Yeah. No one is safe. Jesus Christ. I mean, I love this because it characterizes this system, and the Tenryubito as just the worst people in the world. Fuck. This gets to me, dude. This fucking gets to me. But it's good writing, and I love look at Wapol in the bottom, just
this
run away.
This whole chapter is like jam-packed with cool shit, and I love it.
There's so much happening here.
It's the best chapter in a long time. Well, not a long time.
I mean, it's great. This is a great chapter, for sure. And then you got fucking Charlos just looking like a fucking retard. Rebecca, fucking Shirahoshi crying. And, here's Leo, and, everyone's running forward to, save her, but, they get stopped by people.
They get stopped by Rob Lucci.
Fucking Rob Lucci.
Zero.
And there's Stussy, fresh off of being a slut, is here to, do her CP0 thing. That's cool.
And fucking Kaku. I didn't know he was around.
Yeah, Kaku's back.
He's got Law's old hat.
Law threw out his old hat and just Kaku picked it up out of the trash.
He turned it inside out, so it doesn't have the pattern on it, and he's wearing
it. Okay, I just want to say, Stussy looks great and hot, and I would definitely have sex with her. Rob Lucci's beard is one of the most offensive things I've seen in my entire life.
Is it a really, really long on a string sort of?
It's a really long strand with a poof on the end of it. It is utterly repugnant and a serious problem for me. And also Kaku's hat looks like shit. They look terrible. They look...
Kaku looks a bit stupid. He looked better as a cap guy.
Yeah, he looked great in that hat. And I know he was in disguise, but...
Lucci, beard thing aside, does look very cool.
Besides the beard, yeah, he looks fine. I like that his bird has the hat.
Pigeon.
Yeah.
I love the fact that he's part of it.
He's Lucci and Pigeon are bros for life. This is real. This is real shit.
These two are shonen protagonist and mascot character of something.
Damn right they are. And Kaku looks like ass. Kaku looked so sick. When, after, because, Kaku and Lucci and a bunch of the other people were, in disguise, CP9 agents during Annie's Lobby, or, Water 7. And then, when they, get rid of their clothes and they start wearing their, sick CP9 outfits with all the black and stuff, they look so cool. And Kaku looked great. Lucci looked great. I hate Kaku's hat so fucking much. And look at his weird coat thing. What is that? He's wearing a tie over his, unbuttoned shirt. What is that?
He's wearing, a mid-length trench coat, knee-length.
He's wearing a tie over his trench coat?
And a tie over a trench coat.
Stop!
It's very silly.
I hate it. And then there's just some guy on the left, some big asshole.
We've seen him before. He's fucking Palm Turkey Man.
Yeah, he looks cool.
I like him.
Okay, so CP9 or CP0, right? Because they're not CP9 anymore. CP0. By the way, so did I miss something? Didn't Lucci get betrayed by the government in their cover arc, and they were trying to kill them? Why does he work for the government again? What happened here?
Yeah, I don't remember his cover arc. It was a long time ago, and I don't think
they were running from the government during that cover arc. They must have made a deal or something.
There may have been a thing in there where it was we'll give you extra chocolate treats if you join the Marines again. And he's I like those.
I'm currently scrolling through his history here. God, it just okay. What happened?
Wasn't he in One Piece film Gold or something?
He was, but just as an agent of CP0. So he was already doing exactly what he's doing right now. So that doesn't really tell us how he got there. How the fuck did he get here? Okay, all right, here we go. Along with the rest of CP9. Blah, blah, blah. They began watching the CP9's Next Generation. Okay, well, very good. Arrived to arrest them. They fought him, though. Okay. After the time skip, Lucci reappeared as a member of CP0. There's no explanation here. There was no explanation. It just says, at the end, they, left where they became CP9 agents, where they were looking over, the Next Generation. They just, sail away, and just now they're CP0. And The reason that rubs me the wrong way is because it really felt like these characters were, like, leaving, but now, like, Oda just, like, was like, hey, remember Lucci? The thing he did was be a member of Cypherpole, so let's just have him do that again. I feel like there's bad writing going on here, and that no one's, like, questioning it.
You should stop saying bad writing, because people are going to turn that into a meme.
Well, they should, because that's what's happening. I mean, I don't know. It seems like, please explain to me in the comments if I'm missing something, but I don't think I am.
I mean,
there's just no explanation.
Is like a weird way to put it. I think it's just
like, why is he,
pointless.
his arc ended with him being like, we're going to go do our own thing. Like, yes, I believe in justice, but like the government is like evil and corrupt and they tried to kill me and I'm leaving. But now
at worst it's like retro actively, what's the word? Not retcon.
Yeah.
It's retconning the cover arc, which is kind of not... It is canon, but it's, like, not required. But that's the worst it is. It's not, like, terrible writing that he's turning up. It's just sort of like, well, I want to know why.
I feel like this is just contrary to what was said at the end of that arc, but maybe I'm just wrong. Just please explain to me. Maybe I made a mistake here.
The last moment in the manga... It was just he was beaten by Luffy. And we don't
but like he did have a cover arc where things happened, and you know. Anyway,
it was all a dream.
He used to read Word Up magazine. Okay, let's move along. Yes. Okay.
I mean, Rob Lucci doesn't really do anything here. He's just here to show that he is Rob Lucci and he is Cypherpole Zero now.
I mean, yeah, true. But my theoretical problem with Lucci is why is he a member of Cypherpole Zero? So you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they do have relatively good intentions here. They show up and they're like, listen, you gotta let him rape that fish, because if you don't, you're gonna cause, like, your countries will be obliterated, because a Tenryubito can just fucking have me kill all of you. These are the gods of this world. They're higher than kings. They have every right to do this. So I'm stopping you from interfering, because if you've hurt this man, that's going to be bad. Your countries will be destroyed, basically.
What the fuck is up with Rob Lucci as a character?
Well, that's my question. He's just an obedient CP0 guy now.
Yeah,
he just does that.
It's not very interesting. I mean, he wasn't that interesting before. It was mostly the pigeon that I liked. And,
I mean,
and he
I liked his
hulking guy.
He had this weird, dark justice to him.
He just sort of wanted to kill people.
Well, first of all, the grand reveal that he had been undercover and then was a secret agent the whole time was fucking awesome. And
oh, definitely.
Water 7 was great as a result of that big reveal at the end. And then the fact that you get to then Luffy fights him as like the final boss, like the leader of the secret agents, was like, it was fucking awesome. It was so cool. And that's like his personality. There's really not a lot to him. He just like believes in justice, believes in like the world government, fights for them. And like that, I mean, that's literally
but that's the thing.
He hates pirates.
I don't get the sense that he believes in the world government, but I guess...
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. I think he's here...
All I could tell is that he was a kid, and he killed people, and the Marines took him in and gave him a job, and he's like, as long as I get to kill people, I'm happy.
I mean,
but
maybe you're right.
Now he seems like he's... Maybe this is just more of an excuse to kill more people.
I mean, maybe could he possibly be in some role here where he's like trying to mitigate the damage the world government can do now that he's like woke, which he may or may not actually be.
I mean, we need to know a little more about. We need to see more of Rob before we can like figure out what his deal is. At the moment, he's just sort of here to be like. He's reintroduced into the story now. Yeah,
I like in my video where I talked about Katakuri being like the best villain in a decade, I said like Rob Lucci was the one before him that was great. And that was mostly because of the whole reveal of being a secret agent and like, you know, being a badass murder boy. But anyway, so Vivi's mad. We can't reason with him. Shirahoshi's sad. No one can reason with him. King Neptune gets all up in there. Now, okay, this is incredible. So, King Neptune says, like, this, like, I won't forget, Princess Vivi, that, like, you liked us and that you were friends with my daughter, but I'm gonna have to give up on, like, being a member of the world government because I need to crush these people and take my daughter back. And I will give up bringing my people to the surface to save my daughter. And then Vivi, for some reason, says... Or no, that's Rebecca, I think. They look the same. King Neptune, these people aren't humans.
I think what she might be saying is, like, they're too strong, you can't beat them.
Or just, like, you shouldn't think of them as people you can hurt. Like, these are gods. So, like, if you hurt them, you'll just pay the price.
Also that.
And so anyway, but like King Neptune is like willing to sacrifice like diplomacy and whatnot. And here he thinks,
and he has the flashbacks of
there she is,
his wife.
There's Otohime, one of my favorite characters in all of One Piece. God, I love her. She's beautiful and incredible. And then Charles is like, oh, well, go fucking kill him, CP0. And Luigi's like, okay. So
what I really like here is Shirahoshi, while crying, while knowing that she's going to be like enslaved, is like, no, Dad, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't hate.
Yeah.
She's just like her mother.
This is
so
Neptune.
Cute.
Like, they're the same. They are the same. Like, as Neptune is reaching in to, like, fight these boys and give up on the dreams of bringing the fishmen to the surface to be part of the global community. There's, like fucking Otohime's flashing back. We've got to think of the lives of the future of our children because, we need to pay the price and be willing to sacrifice so that they can live in a brighter future. And so, and there's Shirahoshi. And then she's like, Father, you can't hate humans. But then, boom, Charles gets the fuck smacked out of him by this big old club boy. And what the hell's going on with that? So, okay, someone hit a celestial dragon. This is big news. And then fucking Wapple's just like, I'm not involved in all you hippos. I don't know what he meant by that, but hilarious.
I mean, he kills hippos and wears them as skin.
And he loves it.
So yeah, that's why I don't like Wapple. Everything else about him is like a 10 out of 10 character, and he's the best guy.
Yeah.
But the fact that he hates hippos is why he's a villain.
That's a problem. That's a big problem. So then this guy says, who just hit him, as a celestial dragon, I am so embarrassed, forgive us. And everyone's like, celestial dragon? And so he has them released. He has this big slave release the Shirahoshi. Charles is fucking out cold. I'm sorry, everyone, that he brought terror to the plaza. And Rabelucci is like, okay, well, this is fine. Like, Tenryubito said to stop, so I'll stop. And now, here we go. So now you may have forgotten who I am, Neptune, says this mysterious figure, but I am indebted to the Ryugu Kingdom, and I've been waiting for your arrival. And then we get the reveal that this was the Celestial Dragon who had been stranded on, fucking Fishman Island years ago. That was him. The now-deceased Otohime opened his eyes and made him a good person, and his name is Don Quixote Mjosgard, or whatever it is, and he's here to help. So Don Quixote, this man, is a relative of Don Quixote do Flamingo. He's some member of the family who did not leave when Don Quixote homing took the family and left. Fascinating.
Yeah, I'm really... I couldn't remember, but then when he mentioned like the Otohime, it was like the one who stops the fisherman shooting him. Is like it's cool.
I just want to take everybody,
and it's very interesting that he says she made me human. Like
indeed,
he thinks of himself.
There's
as
a lot of talk of
god.
Humans, kings, and gods. There's like different things going on here, especially between just like humans and gods, which I feel is the distinction that's being. I mean, maybe this guy just means like. Made me human, and like he's still a Tenryubito, so he would still quote unquote be a god, I guess, but he's he's a good person now. So okay, I want to just take everybody back, Fishman Island, because this is like this is an incredible chapter, but this is like the best moment in the whole chapter for me. So remember that moment when in Fishman Island there's the flashback, and a Tenryubito just so happened to have crashed and was the sole survivor of his ship on Fishman Island. He was on a journey probably to pick up some fucking slaves, mermaid slaves or whatever, and he crashes on the island. Gathered around him, a crowd forms, and among them, several people walk out front, and they are actual slaves of his who had escaped with Fisher Tiger, when Fisher Tiger had freed a bunch of the slaves. And they're now looking at the man who had enslaved them as he demands, good, my slaves are back. Free me from this, help me get healed, and take me home. And they're standing around just like, this is it. We're gonna get our revenge. Like, can you even imagine what they would have done to this man based on what he had done to them? Like, the dismembering, the torture, the torment that was going through their minds, knowing that their friends had been tortured, killed, enslaved, abused at the hands of this man and everyone like him, all the other Tenryubito. But Otohime steps forward and says, don't do this, there are children around. Like, these guys were so blinded by rage that who knows what the fuck they would have done just like before children.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there were kids watching.
The thing, like,
that's right.
Yeah, she didn't want to influence the youth to think it was okay to fuck with humans like that.
Exactly, because it's all about encouraging, like, getting rid of hatred for the next generation and making the next generation better than us. That's what her whole thing was. And so this guy, like, when we last saw him, when he left with Otohime, like, they left together to go, and that's when Otohime was able to get her petition with the fucking Tenryubito. Like, he was still suspicious and didn't really like her. But now we see what a difference her, like, charity and her belief in, like, the goodness of people, this let's bring like a fucking tear to my eye. It made a fucking difference. It made the world a better place, and now her daughter was saved because of her goodness, because of all the good she did. This is why Otohime is, like, my favorite character in One Piece, one of them. This is a really powerful message to me, one that I wish...
This is really, like, a big payoff for a very long time.
It's such a big, like... Oh, God, like, because everybody says, like, Fish Mountain sucked. But no, this shit happened. The seeds were sown for this to happen later. And now that it has, and it just feels... I just love it. There's nothing else I can say. Like, this is such a great message for people who have been reading One Piece for, like, hundreds of years of chapters and, you know, a decade or whatever. It makes me so happy that this kind of shit happens. And, like, he even looks different. He looks like an actual person now, not like the weird freak that he used to look like Charlo still does, like the weird baby face.
The thing that all Tenryubito seem to do is that they have their tongue sticking out at all times.
Well, you know, if you remember back, like, Charlos definitely looks like that. And yeah, that guy does too. And I know you're making a joke. But, like the other two that were with Charlos and Charbonnier Archipelago, like, there was an old man and there was, like, a younger woman, probably, like, his daughter and, like, his dad or whatever, you know. There was the dad and the daughter, his sister probably. And, like, they looked like, those guys were honestly, like, scarier. Because, like, they knew what power they had. And they were, like, smart. They were not retarded, like Charlos is. So, like, God even knows, like, what kind of dark shit they get into. Jesus Christ. The whole concept of Tenryubito creeps me out so fucking much. It's so fucked up. Slavery is disturbing on a deep level. Okay, but anyway. So that's that. This is a fucking heartwarming moment. God, I feel good. Yeah. Thank God I read One Piece.
The thing I like about it is that it shows for the first time that a Tenryubito can be a good guy.
Well, to be fair, Don Quixote do Flamingo's dad definitely seemed like a good man.
Well, I guess that's true as well.
Mm-hmm. But I hear what you're saying. One can be redeemed, in fact. You can redeem them from their selves, which is, that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
Like, imagine the fucking... Because, like, the Revolutionary Army is here, sneaking around, and then they're gonna be like, what are they gonna do? Indiscriminately kill some Tenryubito who might actually be good people?
Yeah, I mean, now this is actually interesting. Like, I think I'd said a couple episodes ago that, like, it seemed like Oda was kind of painting, like, the Tenryubito as, like, the ultimate villains, but even now we've introduced, like, this guy who shows that Tenryubito can be saved. If you have the kind of charity and goodwill that Otohime has, you can teach them, like, the error of their ways and how to be a good person. I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll just see. We'll just see how it goes. So anyway, Pangaea Castle, the Room of Authority, and here we are with the Gorosei, the five elders.
The fucking long leg man.
There he is. That's why I thought he might have been that tall king boy, but no, he's here. Well, I mean, it could be that guy theoretically, I guess, but no,
I feel like those guys weren't actually supposed to be long leg people, but they just are drawn.
He basically looks like one right now. I mean, we've seen them before, and I definitely don't think they're actually, like, long leg. Plus, the other guys are, like, fat. God, the Gorosei are so fucking sick. Because, like, each of them are like, actually designed after, like, real-world rulers. Like, you've got, like, Khrushchev, and, like, I think that Jewish-looking guy is, like, based on someone. And, like, obviously, you got the Gandhi parallel guy. It's so cool. I love them so much. They're so intimidating.
And they're always, like, standing, like, they're always doing, like, a cool, like, a group pose shot. Like, every time we've seen them.
They've read a lot of JoJo, dude. They love their poses. They're ready for the fucking camera. So anyway, they're talking there. So there's a mysterious cloaked figure that we may or may not have spoiled earlier before, but whatever, doesn't matter. What did you need to talk about to come all the way here? Oh, it's so cute how the Gorosei finish each other's sentences. They're so adorable. We're currently in the middle of Reverie. A man with your position isn't suitable to be involved with world politics, but we have made time because it's you. And yeah, it is. I'll give you my thanks.
Yeah, so...
Now, all the soldiers are ordered to leave. This man sits down, and we reveal Shanks. There he is.
Yes.
Meeting with the fucking Gorosei face to fucking face. Jesus.
I thought that was something that could never happen.
Yeah. I mean, Shanks, something big is happening.
What's
he is a YONKOU. He is one of the fucking... It's like, imagine if Big Mom was sitting there right now. Or Kaido. I mean, that's what it would be.
They break the chairs, for one.
Oh, that's true. Oh, Shanks is so handsome, though. Oh, he's so handsome. Look at his little stubble and his cool hair. Oh, he's a pretty boy.
Yeah. So like I was saying earlier, I think he's talking about the rocks thing.
I think you make a lot of sense there. Yeah.
Initially, I thought he was talking about Blackbeard or something, like Blackbeard was going to crash the Reverie.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether that's... I feel like that would be too obvious.
I'm gonna there's a couple options here. My thoughts are, the certain pirate he wants to talk about, we don't have any idea what he wants to say about this pirate. Here are the thoughts. Maybe one is Luffy. It's possible it's Luffy. Other thought is because this big event just happened with Luffy, so maybe some with his huge bounty.
Didn't we see Shanks like smile at seeing his wanted poster?
Well, that wasn't from the latest development. We haven't seen Shanks in a while, I don't think.
No, we have.
Did we?
The bounty was updated, and then Kaido, Blackbeard, Big Mom, and then Shanks
we saw like one
reacted
panel.
To it.
That's true.
So
I don't.
Given his face there, I don't think he's going to talk about Luffy.
Okay, well, it's just like besides that, maybe it's something to do with Kaido and Big Mom's meeting. I mean, the fact that we saw that big straw hat certainly draws the attention to that. But then also, like, it could be Blackbeard, because let's not forget, Shanks once arranged a big meeting with a big boy, Whitebeard, to talk about Blackbeard. So I mean, I'm just saying it could be that, or maybe it's Edward Weeble. That guy seems important. But I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, everything I'm thinking, the more I'm thinking about my idea about he's talking about the rocks pirate, and it's got something to do with the hat as well. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's too true to be not real. So I'm gonna stick by my theory there. If that comes true, then I'm a genius.
That sounds good to me. I think it makes the most sense. But again, we don't know, so we'll see. We'll see. And that's it, everybody. That's the end of this chapter. There's no sign of no chapter next week. So, God, please let me get another chapter next week. Please. I'll do anything.
I'll review One Piece.
I swear. I'm that much of a madman. I mean, I'm spent. I got nothing else to say.
Yeah, this was a very good chapter.
God,
really
so
it.
This is that in-between arcs shit that I love. The Reverie itself is kind of like an in-between arc, but nonetheless, my
Reverie
God, so
is like
huge.
The reason we can pay attention to all these things.
Yeah, that's right. Oh my God. And let's not forget, okay, I just want to say, Shanks is here right now in Marijois. Let's not forget, the Revolutionary Army, is here. It is here. It's here. It's fucking here. And also, I still stand by, I think that Blackbeard is going to show up. I still think that's going to happen. It's going to be a big thing that Blackbeard does. Imagine Shanks saying, I want to talk about a certain pirate, Blackbeard, and then Blackbeard, who's standing behind him the whole time, says, you called? You said my name? Imagine that. Wouldn't that be excellent?
I'm imagining it.
And I'm liking it. I think Blackbeard, just imagine a Blackbeard-Shanks clash at fucking Reverie. Yes, please, Daddy.
Fucking Reverie's gonna take 4 years. The amount of cool shit that's hapappening right now.
You know what?
The amount of characters that are here, the amount of things that could happen, and then fucking Wano with Big Mom confirmed for Brawl.
Confirmed for Smash. I mean, it's incredible. There's so much that's gonna happen. And you know what? Let's end this podcast sooner, which in my mind makes it faster that the next chapter comes out for some reason. Let's do that. Hey.
All right, everybody go to
Patreon.
Patreon.com/thepodcastpirates.
Yes, join the crew, join the chats. Discord.
Pledge your hearts out, pledge your gold out of your pockets into ours.
Indeed.
So that we can become the Pirate Kangs.
You can join the chat. There's a link in the description regardless, but you'll be a filthy white. You don't want to be a filthy white. You want to be a blue at least. You want to be a purple, preferably a red, what's the next one? Orange or a gold commander. That's what you want. That's $20 a month. Go for that one. Do it. I demand it. All right. And that's it. That's all we got. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Oh, that was incredible. Cannot wait for new One Piece. I am the soyest of boys. Bye. I'm a soy human. I ate the soy fruit.
Oh, no. All this time. And I was with a soy boy.